This video is for Higher Graphic Communication assignment for 2022, which is the Dune digger. In this video, we are going to look at creating the bucket, which is shown on datasheet 3. The first thing we're going to do is create this kind of front profile here so that we can then extrude it at 200. So I'm going to go on to Inventor. I'm going to go to File, New, make sure that I've selected Metric, and then select Standard Millimeters. I'm then going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to select the XY plane. First thing I'm going to do is draw a circle at 120. And we can see that that is the kind of inside circle because it's told us that we have a radius of 60, so we need to double it, and then we've got 120. The orthographic view of the end elevation shows that we have a thickness of 6 going around, so we're going to draw another circle at 132. I'm going to use the same centre point and draw 132. And what that means is that we've got 6 this side and 6 this side. Next, I'm going to use the line tool to go from the centre of my circles up, straight up to hit my 132 circle. And then looking at the drawing, we can see that from this bottom centre line, we've got a kind of angle at 40. So again, I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to click the centre of my circle. And if I go straight down, I can see that it's at 90 degrees. So I want to take my 90 degrees and add on the 40. So I'm going to change it to 130 degrees. And then I'm going to stop when I hit my kind of bottom line, my 132 line. Now to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to use trim just to kind of trim off the parts of the circle that I don't need and also the parts of the line that I don't need. So I'm just kind of left with this outer kind of semi-ring. Next, we're going to do the little bit at the top so we can see that it has a width of 10 and a height of 10. So I'm going to go and use my line tool. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to go 10 along, then 10 up, 10 along, and then I'm just going to go down until I reach my 132 circle. We also have this box kind of sticking out here, and we can see that from the edge of that box it is it's 70 from the centre of my circle, and that the width, kind of height of it is 10. So again, in Inventor, I'm going to take my line. I'm going to draw a line from the centre of the circle out to the right at 70, like so. And then using my 2-point centre rectangle tool, I'm going to select where that kind of centre point of my 132, and I'm going to make sure that it has a height of 10, like so. So it's kind of 8 by 10, and you can see that on my 70 line, that's now touching the edge of that line. Again, using trim, I'm just going to trim away any excess, and I'm also going to just delete this line, and then I can delete my 70 line as well. So I've got a box at 10, but from the centre of my circle to the edge of my box has a distance of 70. Once I've done that, I'm going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to use extrude to select all the parts that I've just made, like so. and I'm going to extrude them to 200. And there we've got the kind of start of the bucket. Next, we're going to look at creating the kind of little semicircles that revolve around the bucket. Now, these don't go all the way around, it only goes into the first half, and they are repeated 5 times on each side, 10 away from the edge of it, and then 12, a distance of 12 from each other. So to do that, we're going to use revolve. So the first thing we're going to do is draw our profile. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to start it on this kind of side of the top part of the bucket. And I'm going to use the circle tool and make the centre of my circle on this line here. So not the very top line, the line below it. And I'm going to make that 8. I'm then going to use the dimension tool to go from the edge of the bucket to the centre of the circle and make sure that that is 10. And then in order for us to use revolve, we're going to need a centre axis. So I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm just going to draw a line in the centre of the bucket. So you can see that as I move my mouse down, I've got this kind of green dot to show me that it's the centre, and I'm just going to draw a line. There's no distance to it. You can just see that we've got the line here in the centre. Once we've done that, we're just going to finish the sketch. I'm going to click revolve. I'm going to click my circle as my profile, and then I'm going to click my axis as the line. And you can see currently it's going all the way through, but we don't want to go all the way around. Instead, I'm going to click the box that says 2, and I'm going to select this top surface here so that it just touches like so. And then I can press OK. And there I've created one of the round parts. Next, I'm going to use linear array and then mirror to repeat these the 5 times on both sides. So I'm going to go up to the kind of pattern box, and I'm going to click linear array. The feature is going to be my semicircle. My direction is just going to be a line that's going this way. Now you can see that it's automatically trying to put it to the left. We want it to the right. So we're just going to change the direction. We're going to flip the direction. And we can see that on our drawings, they have to be 12 apart. So we want the distance to be 12, and we want there to be 5 of them. So 5, 12, and then just make sure that the distance is fine. And then we're just going to press OK. We now want to repeat this on the other side. Now I could redraw it and then do linear array again. However, we're just going to mirror it. So I'm going to use plane, and I'm going to click mid plane between 2 planes, and I'm going to click one edge and then the other edge to get this centre plane. I'm then going to use mirror, which again is in the pattern box, and I'm going to select the first ring that I made, but also the ones thereafter, and then I'm going to click mirror plane, click the plane that I've just created, and then press OK. And you can see that that has now repeated on the other side. So the last thing we need to do is create the part that will kind of hook on to the cab, so like this part here. If we look at the end elevation, we can see that we have a distance of 15 to get to the centre of this circle, and then we have an angle at 55, and then kind of an overall height of 30, so 15 this way and then 15 the other way. We can also see that we have the radius of 7 for the circle. So because we have turned on a middle plane for using mirror, we're just going to use this same plane to sketch on. So I'm just going to start a 2D sketch on this plane. And then I'm going to press F7 to half my shape and just make it a little bit easier for us to create this part. So we know that from the centre of the kind of bigger circle, the first circle we created at 120, to the end of this here is 70. And then from the end of this part here to the centre of our circle is 15. So therefore it must be 85 from the centre. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to go from the centre of my 120 circle all the way out 85. Just so that I know where the centre point of my circle is. I am then going to draw my circle. And again, having a look at the pictorial, we can see it's got a radius of 7. So I'm going to draw a circle at 14, like so. Now, looking at the drawing, we know that the kind of overall thickness is 30. So we've got 15 this way and then 15 this way. And then we've got our 55-degree kind of cutout on it. From the centre of my circle up 15. And then I'm going to move that along until I hit my model. And then again, I'm going to go down 15. And again, click it until I hit the model. And use extrude later on. Next, I'm going to get my angle at the kind of 55. So we can see here we've got an angle at 55. So again, I'm going to take my line tool. I'm going to click the centre of my circle. And I'm going to move my angle until it is 55 and just draw a line. So we know from there to there is 55. And then the same again. We're going to go this way and again make sure that my angle is at 55. So there, change it to 55, and there we've kind of got my angles. Last, we're going to take a circle, and again, same point, centre point, and we're just going to bring the circle until it hits the top of that 15. Now there's quite a lot to trim here, so we're just going to have to be careful to make sure that we're trimming the correct part. The first thing we're going to do is just trim the angled lines so that we can cut them back in, and then we're just going to cut the right hand side of our circle, so you can see that that is now starting to take shape. And then just trim the kind of inside ones of the circle as well, like so. And then using trim, we can do. Next, what I'm going to use is just select the line tool and the arc tool just to draw around the shape of the kind of outer circle. So just joining that up so that when we finish the sketch and click extrude, we can select the parts that we've just made. We want to make sure that we have put it as symmetric, and we can see that the overall length of this part, so it's told us that the overall is 200, and then at each side of it, it is 90. So it means that we are going to be extruding it 20. So I'm going to change that to 20 and then press OK, so that we have the bit that's going to connect onto our cab. Once we've done that, we can just turn off any visibility of any of our planes that we're no longer using, and then we can go up to File, Save As, and save it somewhere safe.